each.
Competition throughout the state of Minnesota, the field has been narrowed to 10 outstanding football teams representing 10 outstanding Minnesota communities. The Jefferson Band would like to salute these 10 teams now. Congratulations to Norman County West, to Westbrook, to Zumbrota, to Linden Felton, to Jackson, to Monoman, to New Prague, to Mora, to Apple Valley, and to Burnsville. The Jefferson Band salutes all 10 of these outstanding teams and the communities they represent throughout our great state. To conclude this morning's pregame program, members of the Jefferson Flag Corps, along with the JJ Dance Line, give you our arrangement of the popular favorite of a few years back. Here they are in Birdland.
fourth annual Prep Bowl continues with the Class C championship game. The Zumbrota Tigers versus the Linden Felton Buffalo. Brought to you by Monsanto Lasso. Less stress, more yield.
Welcome back
to the Prep Bowl 1985. Breakfast at the Metrodome. Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Schmidt along with Doug Kingsrider. We'll be bringing you that Class C title game. And, Doug, we've got a team here, Glendon Felton, that last year came 6 points away from bringing the big hardware back home.
They've had a whole year to think about this game, Joe. A whole year. And now they've gone through this year of preparation. They're back. They're getting excited.
All right. We've got the starting lineups set right now. Let's go down to the public address announcer.
Would the Glendon Felton captains and the Zumbrota captains please come forward for the coin toss? Glendon Felton has won the toss and elected to receive. Zumbrota will kick off. The Glendon Felton captains are Joe Murphy, Brad Pake, Bill Massive, Darren Tweet, and Tom Grover. And Glendon Felton head coach is Scott Oliver. The Zumbrota captains are Ken Belanger, Mark Frederick, Eric Hemme, and the head coach is Kenneth Belanger Sr. The referee for this game is Matt Bergen. And now would the members of both teams please come forward to the middle of the field for the Minnesota Prep Bowl pregame handshake. Gentlemen. Glendon Felton is the receiving team. Zumbrota will kick off. We're now ready for the Class C championship game.
And we are set for the Class C title game between Glendon Felton and Zumbrota. I'll tell you what, Doug Kingsrider, I think that this game could be one of the top games here today.
I very much believe so. We've seen a lot of enthusiasm. But the other thing I've seen some confidence down there. These players appear to know what they're doing.
Zumbrota in the red uniforms right there. Wearing the white will be Glendon Felton. And as you can see, it's a very pumped-up huddle around head coach Ken Belanger, whose son, Ken Belanger Jr., is the starting quarterback and one of the stars of this football team.
Yes, he is. And we'll have the opportunity to see Zumbrota be on defense right away.
They will kick off, and doing the kicking for Zumbrota will be Bob Prigge, a linebacker, a running back who does a little bit of everything. Back deep on the side for Glendon Felton will be Joe Murphy. He is the man back deep, and he'll have a couple of wings on his side, including Tom Mall, who's an outstanding running back, and Brad Pake. Class C title game from the Metrodome, the first of 5 title games here today, will be on the air from now until late this evening. So sit back, get the coffee pot going, get your breakfast hot, and have a good day.
They'll be kicking off from that right hash mark, Joe. I wonder if that's part of their kicking plan. We'll watch.
He's the sidewinder. Bob Prigge is set to kick off. The 1985 Prep Bowl. And here we go. We're off. The first of 5 title tilts. And with the ball is Tom Mall, the outstanding running back. He takes it up the middle. He has some running room all the way up to the 38-yard line. He's tackled on the play by Glenn Bowman. A 21-yard kickoff return. Let's set the offense for Glendon Felton. Wayne Lepard is the quarterback. Tom Mall, a halfback. Emmanuel Wanna-Watch. He's joined in the backfield by Brad Pake, Joe Murphy, and others. Here's the front 5, the offensive line for Glendon Felton, and it's a pretty good size line. It'll be first down, 10 yards to go. The ball resting at the 39-yard line. The give up the middle. And the man with the ball is number 48 for the Buffaloes, and that is Brad Pake. Let's set the defense now for Zumbrota. 13-0, undefeated Buffaloes. Olson, Bennett, Finstuen, Brecken. Linebackers are Henning, Prigge, and Berg. They run out of the 4-3 set. Hendricks, Bowman, Frederick, and Belanger in the defensive secondary, and that's one of the strong points of this season. Tom Mall and Brad Pake are in the backfield. The handoff goes once again to Pake, and Pake has some running room. He has a first down into Zumbrota territory.
Well, you know, Joe, that looked just exactly like the first play, but this time they found the opening. The middle linebacker was able to be blocked that time, and running back was able to make about 10, 12 yards.
Brad Pake, a senior, 5'10", 180 pounds. He carried the ball for 931 yards during the regular season. He's a good one. 9 touchdowns also for Pake on the year. The ball on the 45-yard line. The handoff this time to Tom Mall, and he finds the going tough. He picks up a couple of hard-fought yards in on the tackle. John Brecken, the defensive end, closing down hard.
John made an outstanding play. He came in very low, and he pushed down hard, was able to stop the play in the backfield for no gain.
Zumbrota 13-0, Glendon Felton 12-1. A pickup of 2 yards on the play. And as you can see, the calls on the offense are signaled in from the sideline, which a lot of pro teams have been going to, Doug.
Yes, they have, and they're coming in here today, and we've got coaches in the press box, and it's an advantage that the coaches can have to be able to watch a team that they haven't seen play before.
Second down, 8 yards to go. The ball on the 44-yard line. To give to the first man through is Tom Ball, and he is gang tackled. He's met by a sea of red. The first man to make the hit was Mike Olson.
We're starting to see that defense come together. Glendon Felton has been able to move the ball quite effectively here for their first down. And that's the first case of gang tackling, I think, we've seen today by Zumbrota.
Well, Zumbrota has just an outstanding defense. We talked a little bit about it before the game. They had 28 quarters in a row in which they did not give up a single point.
Oh, that's amazing.
Third down and long. Make it 7 yards to go. First passing situation, and he'll put it up. Trying to get out to Joe Murphy, and it's overthrown. And that will bring up a fourth down situation. Murphy, coming out of the backfield, was not open in the flat.
Steve Iverson looked a little rushed on that play. I think he had a hard time seeing his receiver, and this is a case where the dome might be a little more difficult to play, and you look up and he's looking at a sea of blue seats over here and trying to find a blue helmeted receiver.
Well, Tom Mall, the outstanding running back, is also an outstanding punter. He's averaging 39.8 yards a punt, a low snap, but he still has time to get it off. And there you see the good leg. And the ball's going to bounce inside the 10-yard line, and it's going to be down on the 3. Down on the coverage was the quarterback, Wayne Lepard. And I'll tell you what, Zumbrota's going to have to start deep in their territory. It was a 41-yard punt by Mr. Mall.
That's going to be a challenge. It reminds me that we used to practice that at the university. We'd get the ball in practice on the 1-yard line and have to look at 99 yards. They've got 97 yards to look at.
97 yards. First down, 10 yards to go. Ken Belanger Jr., the quarterback. His dad, Ken Belanger Sr., the head coach for Zumbrota. In the backfield, Mike Olson and Lonnie Hendricks. And a flag is down, and we may have had some motion. No, I believe it's going to be against Glendon Felton. And it is a penalty against the Buffaloes, and that'll help out that Zumbrota offense get out of that bad field territory.
5-yard penalty marked off against the Buffaloes.
Here we see the offense. Ken Belanger, the quarterback, Hendricks, Olson, Hemme, Bowman, and Frederick. Across the front line, Cross, Wichman, Bennett, Henning, and Radke. And it'll be first down and 5 yards to go. Second man through, and that is Lonnie Hendricks, and he picks up a yard or two before he's met head-on by Darren Olson, the big defensive tackle. He's one of the biggest guys we've got on the field today, 6'5", 246.
That's strong for a high school young man.
Let's take a look at that defensive line. One man to watch, Adon Alonzo. He's the leading tackler, the nose tackler for the Glendon Felton defense. There we see the linebackers and secondary. And this is an outstanding defense, too. Last year's runner-up, Glendon Felton against undefeated Zumbrota. The pitch goes wide. This is Hendricks trying to find some running room, and he's taken down at the 10-yard line. He'll be short of the first down. In on the tackle, Corey Andreessen.
At that time, Tom Mall came up from a safety position and looked like he was almost anticipating the run, tried running up the middle, maybe to fill a spot. But, Joe, notice when Zumbrota comes on offense, the beautiful splits that they have. You see the distance between the tackle and the guards and the center. That's a well-disciplined offensive team.
It's third down, 3 yards to go, the ball resting on the 10-yard line. Hendricks and Olsen in the backfield for Zumbrota, and Belanger will put it up. He has his man over the middle, the end slanting, and I think he may have gotten the first down, or he may be just a little bit short.
Now, they may have to measure that. Depends on, of course, where the official makes the spot. That was an interesting call, and my curiosity was, what are they going to do? They're faced with their first, we call it a tweener situation, where they don't know if they should run or they should throw. And here we see the replay, the tight end coming across the middle for just a little jump pass. Nice
He
play.
will be short of the first down in the punt for Zumbrota. Neil Kylo, who's averaged 31.5. Joe Murphy and Brad Hank are back deep for the Buffaloes. And it's a nice punt. It'll be fielded by Joe Murphy. He lets it bounce, and that's a mistake. And Zumbrota will down the ball on the 46-yard line. Dan Bennett downs the ball. There's a timeout with the score. 0-0. Zumbrota and Glendon Felton will be back with more right after this. 26 remaining in the first quarter. Glendon Felton against Zumbrota, and Glendon Felton will have the ball on the 40. Oh, make it the 46.5-yard line. And you talked about that punt. They let that punt, Joe Murphy let that punt land on the ground, and it went a couple extra yards. It's first down, 10 yards to go. The first man through is, with the ball, is Tom Mall, and Mall fights his way for a hard 5 yards, and he loses his shoe on the play. Mike Frederick in on the tackle.
He really ran hard on that play, and that's quite a tribute to that player. He's already establishing himself as an outstanding player in the game. Got a replay here. Watch him come across the middle and watch him break right off his own player and then come through and make that diving effort. Outstanding. You know, you mentioned, Joe, about the punt, and maybe that was a mistake. I imagine these coaches said, hey, let the first punts roll for a while. We don't want to drop any for...
That could have been some good strategy. Second down, make it 4. They'll give to Mall again. This time Mall is swarmed. In on the tackle is Dan Bennett, who has been playing outstanding so far from his defensive tackle position. Dean Berg, the linebacker, also joins in, and that'll bring up a third down situation. And so far, it's kind of like a boxing match. These two offenses are trying to fill out that defense, isn't it, Doug?
Yes, it is. That was a difficult play to run to the close side of the sideline. There are quite a number of defensive players, and then they've got another player over here on the side we call Sammy Sideline. And so the runner doesn't have many opportunities to make too many moves.
It'll be third down and a long 3. And this is one of those in-between situations, too, but we may see Wayne Lepard put it up. The 5'11", 153-pound senior does go back. He has his man, and in for the first down is number 48, and that's Brad Pake. And now let's go to the sidelines with Rob Lear.
Joe, there are some definite advantages to having played in the Prep Bowl before. One of those comes down to the footwear. You'll see that Glendon Felton, they all wear pretty much the same shoes because they've experienced this. Many of these players have before. You get a feel for what this turf is like. You get an idea of just exactly what the advantages are to wearing some shoes as opposed to others. And Glendon Felton believes they have an edge on that side of the field when it comes to footwear. Let's go back to you.
Of course, the players aren't used to wearing tennis shoes during a football game. The handoff up the middle, and this time Mall has a hard time going. Dan Bennett is just eating them alive in that defensive line.
There's a case where Iverson may have read that Beer opportunity wrong. He had the opportunity to pull out and go ahead and pitch, and I think he let it go to Mall because they've been having some success. They may try the pitch later on.
It's second down, 9 yards to go. 5:26 remaining in the first quarter. Lepard, the give on the counter, and that's Mall, and Mall will fight his way very close to the first down. He'll be short by a yard, pick up a 6 on the play. Lonnie Hendricks with the tackle.
We call that play a counter, Joe, in which the quarterback will make a step and a fake in one direction and wheel around. It's a good quarterback move. Wheel around and give the handoff. There he is wheeling. Tom Mall is cutting through, makes his usual great effort for extra yardage. It has a tendency to throw the defense off.
Third down and a long yard. And we have a whistle on the play. One of the players from Zumbrota needs an equipment change. You know, we talked about Zumbrota. This is their first state playoff appearance ever. As a matter of fact, this is the first team from Zumbrota to ever make any state tournament. Does it have the city excited? It sure does. They sold 1,300 tickets in a community that only has 1,900 people.
There must be a lot more than 1,300 right down here below us, and they're all wearing red.
It's third down and a long yard. The give. And the first down yardage. And that is number 48 with the ball, Brad Pake.
I imagine that Zumbrota was looking for Tom Mall there again, and we had an opportunity to, again, make that counter play, throw the defense off. That's been very successful for Glendon Felton.
A good solid run brings the ball all the way down to the 20-yard line. And this is the first sustained drive we've had of this game.
Glendon Felton is looking exceptional on offense right now.
The handoff to Pake. No, the keeper this time, and that's Lepard, and Lepard will have 7 yards. He's tackled by Lonnie Hendricks, who's been doing a lot of tackling from his cornerback position. Don't like to see the corners make all those tackles. That's for the linebackers and the defensive linemen.
Wayne Lepard is handling himself very, very well. His fakes, and we watch on the replay, but his fakes are superb. Watch how he'll throw the defense off, and then, of course, he threw us off here, and then threw the defensive end, coming off and making about 7-8 yards. Nice play by Wayne.
It was a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up a third down, 3 yards to go. The ball resting on the 13-yard line. And there we get a look at first-year head coach for Glendon Felton, Scott Oliver. Tom Mall up the middle. He'll have the first down inside the 10-yard line, down to the 9. In on the tackle was Dean Berg, along with Matt Henning.
Here's a case where these coaches for Glendon Felton up in the press box are saying, let's keep running that counter play. It throws the defense off. For some reason, Zumbrota has not been able to pick it up. They will make adjustments, I can guarantee you that. But right now, it has resulted in a very, very successful drive for Glendon Felton, moving down into scoring territory.
This is a team dominated by seniors. 18 seniors on the team. They were all here last year when they lost to Harmony by 6 points for the state title. Tom Ball, and he finds the going tough. He maybe picked up a yard or two as he's carrying about 3 or 4 members of the Zumbrota defense. Mike Olson, the initial hit, along with Bob Prigge.
Here's a case where an offensive team has to be very, very disciplined because you're excited, you're thinking about, we're going to get it in to score. And then all of a sudden, you may pull a clip or a hold. There's a case right there where we almost had a clip, and he was able to, the offensive player was able to hold off and keep the clip from happening so that they didn't get penalized and take them out of scoring position.
It's second down, goal to go from the 8-yard line. They cannot get a first down. The handoff to Pake, the second man through. He's down to the 5-yard line. Dan Bennett in on the tackle along with Matt Henning, and we are seeing some basic power offense running north-south right at him.
Well, Pake has picked up where Tom Mall has left off. That was power running. He carried about 3 players with him for 2 or 3 yards. Excellent, excellent running and hard driving by this offense of Glendon Felton. They are showing right now the confidence of 18 seniors on a team.
Both these teams are good starters, I'll tell you, because Zumbrota has only given up 6 points in the first quarter all year. They've outscored their opponents 84-6. Lepard in trouble, and he is sacked. In on the sack is Dan Bennett, and we've mentioned his name a lot today. And I don't know if we're going to have a replay on this play or not, but we'll have to see what Bennett is doing up there. He is very aggressive in that defensive line.
Well, it appeared from me that there was a mix-up in the backfield. We'll watch the replay. No one there. Now we had the back go the wrong direction.
It was a loss of 3 yards on the play, and that brings up a 4th. And goal to go from the 8-yard line. And let's see if they go for it here. Looks like they are.
Those are the frustrations, to go down on a great drive and to make a mistake. Let's see if they can recover, Joe.
Wayne Lepard, the quarterback, 4th and 8, and he'll put it up. He's looking for Pake, and Pake has the touchdown. A perfect strike by Wayne Lepard to Brad Pake.
Boy, hope we get this on the replay. Watch, he handles himself just like a pro quarterback here. Wayne Lepard falling back, and he threw that ball out for the corner of the end zone and just let the Brad Pake run underneath it. A brilliant, brilliant play for high school football.
It looked like he had 3 or 4 receivers out in the play,
Watch
too.
him falling off balance, throwing it. Reminds me of Tarkenton there. That catch doesn't remind me of me, though.
Good hands, definitely, by Mr. Paik. And they will be going for the 2-point conversion. They don't rely much on the kick. And let's see what they do here. Wayne Lepard, 1 touchdown pass to his credit. He'll put it up again on the slant. He has his man Joe Murphy for the touchdown for the 2-point conversion. And Glendon Felton has itself on the scoreboard with 1:12 remaining in the first quarter. They lead Zumbrota 8-0.
You can credit Wayne Lepard for that offensive drive. He handled himself very, very well, like a professional. And the highlights of that drive were his faking Joe, the way he kept the defensive off. You take a look at the touchdown again and watch how Wayne Lepard handles himself in throwing that ball into the deep corner. Brad Paik coming out of the backfield. Outstanding catch and throw. Those are plays that are practiced time and time again in the professional leagues.
And that was a nice drive. 6 minutes, 14 seconds on the drive. 12 plays, 53 yards. 1:12 remaining in the first quarter. And now we'll have the kick. It's a very short kick. It'll be fielded by one of the front men for Zumbrota. And he'll have the ball at the 36-yard line, fielding the punt, or the kick, I should say. I believe number 32. That was Bob Prigge who fielded that kick, and they'll have the ball on the 35-yard line. The Tigers of Zumbrota against the Buffaloes of Glendon Felton. Here's the 2-point
Got a replay
conversion.
of the extra point, and watch how the wide receiver comes in. It's a crossing pattern. Very, very tight to throw that ball in there. Real credit to Wayne Lepard for sneaking it through the defenders.
8-0 Glendon Felton. And Ken Belanger, he wants to get some of that back right now, but I believe the ball was thrown out of bounds, intended for Eric Hemme, but Hemme was out of bounds.
Nice call by the official right there on the sideline. And I believe in high school ball, you have to have both feet in the bounds, don't you?
Well, that's one of those tough ones where you have different rules in college and professional football and high school. And there we take a look at the scoring drive. Paik on the 8-yard touchdown pass from Lepard to get Glendon Felton on the scoreboard. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Belanger hands off to Hendricks, and Hendricks has got no room. He'll lose a couple of yards.
Had a terrific defensive play by Kurt Ellingson. He held off a block and wouldn't give up any ground and chased that play inside. Butch Nash would have been very, very proud of that play, just the way he coaches it. Didn't get a chance in on the tackle, but he forced the play.
Bring up a passing situation. 3rd down, 11 yards to go. And Ken Belanger can put it up. He was 106 out of 201 for 1,395 yards. It looks like they're setting up the screen to Hendricks. He has a wall, but there's a fumble. The ball is picked up, but I believe they're going to rule he's down. It looked like that would be a fumble and picked up by Adon Alonso, but they will not give him the interception. Hendricks had the ball, and he lost control of it.
I won't touch that one from a 10-foot pole. We could look at that one from 5 angles here and probably have 5 different decisions. But it looked like from here that he just threw it back, and the defender was able to catch it. Oh, look, did it hit his elbow? Or well, the official was right there. We assume that he made a great call.
Well, that will bring up a 4th down situation, 4th. And 20 yards to go, and in the punt once again is Ken Belanger. Back deep, Joe Murphy and Brad Paik.
Ken hasn't had a great opportunity yet to make his offense go.
And it looks like they're going to be content to let the punt roll, and it wasn't a real long punt. It'll be down on the 44-yard line, and that's where Glendon Felton will take over. Darren Olson, the defensive tackle, down a 22-yard punt, no return on the play. And let's take a look at that questionable call in which Hendricks, it almost looked like he fumbled. Whether or not he had control of the ball, that is the question.
Let's watch his right elbow. Watch his right elbow to see if it hit his elbow rather than the ground. Oh, it looks like it did. But the official is right there.
And we have run out of time here in the first quarter. Glendon Felton has taken the lead over Zumbrota 8-0, and we'll be back with the second quarter right after this.
and 1981.
Just stopped the first play by Glendon Felton as they take the ball up to the 48-yard line. Wayne Lepard kept on the keeper. Lonnie Hendricks tackled. It was a pickup of 2 yards, so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 situation for the Glendon Felton offense. And I think if they keep moving the ball on the ground, mixing it up here and there with a pass, that's exactly what they did in that first drive, their first scoring drive, Doug, and maybe they'll try to do that again here.
The key is going to be to see if Zambrota's defense can adjust to these counter plays that Glendon Felton's coming up with. Oh, here's a pass.
Lepard will put it up. He has his man, Eric Hemme. Hemme has the first down inside the 40-yard line. He's dragged out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Mike Frederick over there on the coverage for Zambrota.
Joe, having been a receiver, one of the things that I watch for is the discipline of a receiver's route. And in running an out pattern like that, the tendency is to want to go to the corner rather than right back to the sideline. And here we have a beautiful throw by Wayne Lepard. And watch how this receiver goes right to the sideline, cutting right out. Beautiful, beautiful discipline play.
That was Dane Longbella with the reception, and he is the leading receiver on this team for Glendon Felton. The Buffaloes are driving once again. The ball on the 36-yard line. The give up the middle, and that's Tom Maul, and he barrels his way, and there's a flag on the play. We may have a face mask. Dan Bennett, one of the men of the tackle. Glenn Bowman also assisting.
Dan Bennett tried something different, and this might be the first sign of any defensive adjustment by Zambrota. He came rushing on a hard inside charge, and was unsuccessful because of the play, but it shows that they're doing something. They're trying to make some changes defensively to stop the drive.
Let's see if we can pick up the face mask penalty here. Good hard running. And from this angle, we can't find it, but it's a 15-yard penalty. And the Buffaloes are now down inside the 20-yard line. They'll spot the ball at the 17-yard line. And Glendon Felton is, once again, they have a chance to put some more points on the board here in the second quarter.
Well, they've been operating just like clockwork. And I think Zambrota is knowing that they've had 6 shutouts in the last 7 games. They're going to recover, but it's taking them a little time right now.
Paik in motion. The pitch back to Maul. He'll use Paik as a blocker, trying to get the outside. He's to the outside with the first down inside the 5-yard line. Finally dragged out of bounds by Ken Belanger. They'll spot the ball just outside the 5-yard line. And once Maul gets to the corner, he is tough to catch up with.
Watch Dean Berg make an exceptional play. Number 38 come up, and by all rights, he should have been able to stop the play. And there's one of those, a missed tackle. There's a case where there could have been a play that would have been no gain. And because of great running and a missed tackle, we end up with another great gain for Glendon Felton.
Well, Tom Maul is having a little trouble. He's so fast he runs right out of his shoes. Reminds me of Keith Byers last year in that one game. There's a timeout on the field. It'll be charged to Zambrota. The ball resting at the 6-yard line. Well, we really have a difference here, a contrast in coaching staffs. We mentioned a little bit about Scott Oliver, the first-year head coach at Glendon Felton. Ken Belanger, he's been there 20 years at Zambrota. He's had his entire staff there almost that entire time. What kind of advantage does this give a team? You've got the young coach against the experienced group of coaches.
Well, the experienced group of coaches, I imagine, is sitting back, and they have a degree of confidence. They said, we've been in this situation before. We need to make a few adjustments. They're not rushing into anything drastic. They're probably confident. Ken is confident in his own son that he can come back and put some points on the board. But right now, they've got to be a little concerned. They've got a 1st and goal against them, and they could fall behind quite quickly here. It could be even 16-0 if there's a score and a 2-point conversion. So they need to make a great defensive play. And hopefully that from their point of view, one of their players will come up and make that play.
1st and goal, the ball on the 6-yard line. Lepard gives the Maul, and he's stuffed. Great defensive tackle by Bob Prigge, the leading tackler on this Zambrota defense. He'll pick up maybe a half a yard.
Well, there's a case of that great defensive play happening, and that's what it takes. Force the offense to do something different. Don't let them keep rolling on. Make them adjust.
2nd down, goal to go. Tom Maul and Brad Paik are in the backfield. And we may see that pitch outside again. Yes, Paik went in motion, and a couple of yards picked up that time. The ball will be down to the 2.5, 2-yard line. Lonnie Hendricks on the run right there was Tom Maul. Hendricks with the tackle.
Exceptional game calling, Joe. He called the play even before it took place.
Well, they ran that same play before right down the sideline, and Paik went in motion. He's a pretty good blocker. He gets out there in front, and it was the same exact formation they ran it from before, and I figured why not? They'll go back for it.
Well, you done good.
All right. 3rd down, goal to go. The ball on the 3-yard line.
Big play.
Well, this is a 2-down situation right now. We're going to have an offsides against Zumbrota. And I think what happens there maybe was the smart play calling of Wayne Lepard. It looks like he went on a different count.
Encroachment penalty called against Zumbrota.
Encroachment defense, half the distance to the goal.
Okay, that'll put the ball on about the 1.5-yard line. As I said, Doug, right now we're in 2-down territory.
Got Joel McIntosh heading in with the play here, so he's getting his last-minute instructions from the coach. They really look organized over there for a young staff.
They certainly do, and most of those coaches, or I should say all of the coaches, played football at Moorhead State. That's where Scott Oliver played football, and he just had a bunch of his buddies come on down and help coach this football team. They've got Paik and they've got Maul. One to choose from, and they give it to Maul, the first man through, and he has a touchdown from 1.5 yards out. Tom Maul is on the board, and Glendon Felton now leads 14-0.
They just went behind some exceptional blocking and blew back that Zumbrota defensive line. I wouldn't have anticipated that play. From the looks of things and all the instructions, I would have thought that they would have tried something a little more fancy. Here he is coming through. Tom Maul breaking through behind his blockers. Look at the way the whole wall is moving back in that end zone.
Boy, the way he runs that ball from the 1.5-yard line, maybe the Vikings ought to sign him up.
Excellent running. Right now, Zumbrota's got to be scratching their heads a little bit and saying, we've got to recover. We've got to get good field position, get going offensively.
The Buffaloes will go for the 2-point play. They try to get it out to Paik, but the pass is short, and Zumbrota holds them. It'll be 14-0. There's 9:22 remaining in the second quarter. But so far, this game has been controlled by the Glendon Felton offense.
Yes, it has. And we might see a little turning here. We saw a great play by Zumbrota where they pushed everybody back, even though it was a screen play. They were able to force the play and cause a defense, so a mistake by the offense. So hopefully they'll recover now, come together, and they'll say the next series, 3 plays and out.
Well, maybe the experience right now of Glendon Felton is showing through. They were here last year. They've got 18 seniors. They had that long bus ride home last year, and they say, listen, we're not leaving this place until we have that trophy. On the other hand, Zumbrota may have the butterflies right now, trying to get rid of the butterflies. They just don't want to fall too far behind, so they're not out of the game here in the first half.
Right, well, they're just 2 touchdowns down right now.
Okay, the kick, and it's handled by Lonnie Hendricks, and Hendricks is up over the 30-yard line, down to the 33, in on the tackle, Dean Bird.
I can't say that there's really any difference in the teams and the intensity of play right now. It just happens that those pieces are falling into place for Glendon Felton.
The ball will be on the 33-yard line, and so far, Zumbrota really hasn't gotten much going offensively.
They have not had very good field position. I think this might be the best field position that they've had coming out of this pro-I offense.
Ken Belanger will put it up on first down. Looking over the middle, the pass is almost picked off by Bob Prigge. Intended for Eric Hemme. The scoring drive for Glendon Felton, 6 plays, 54 yards. They took up 2:48 in the clock, and they now lead it. Tom Maul with a one-yard run. They lead it 14-0 here in the second quarter. The Class C title game coming up next will be the 9-man title game. Norman County West going after their 2nd straight title. It's 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Belanger will put it up. No, it's the draw play to Hendricks, and Hendricks has some running room up the middle. A great move. Got cut to the outside, to the 50, 45, taken out of bounds. A great run by Hendricks. Brad Paik finally makes the tackle, and he got a chance to cut on that sideline. And let's now go down to the field with Rob Lear.
Joe, that play may just be what Zumbrota was looking for in terms of get back in this football game. But you realize this high school team has never been down by 14 points all season long. Defensively, the coaches have been doing some huddling. They're most surprised at the effectiveness of Glendon Felton's running game. They knew they were going to be tough, but they really didn't think they were that powerful in terms of running straight up the middle. Let's go back to you.
Back to live action, putting it up. The pass is batted down. Ken Belanger looking over the middle. Adon Alonso, the big sophomore nose tackle. He's only a sophomore, but yet he's the leading tackler on this Buffalo defense. He had a total of 108 tackles during the regular season. 5'11", 225 pounds.
Trying to figure out, Joe, why the timing is off a little bit with Zumbrota. There was a case where I think the defensive line, both in this pass and 2 plays ago, they pushed back that offensive line and forced Ken to throw prematurely and off rhythm.
The blitz is on. Belanger under pressure, tries to get it off. Was looking that time, trying to dump it off to number 13. That's Mike Frederick. The pass was overthrown. He was under big pressure up the middle.
I think there's 3 plays in a row that we can say that the defense of Glendon Felton, now we've talked about the Zumbrota defense, but the defense of Glendon Felton is forcing Belanger to throw off rhythm.
As you can see, Belanger had a lot of success during the regular season. He's a good quarterback, a good athlete. He's an all-state kicker. And if they get in anywhere inside that 40, 30-yard line, he can put it through. It's 3rd and 10. The ball resting on the 43-yard line. This time, pretty good protection for Belanger. He has his man, but oh, the ball's dropped, tipped, and intercepted by Bob Prigge. No, make that Tom Maul. The pass was intended for Mike Frederick. He had it in his hands, and it was just a good athletic effort by Tom Maul.
Now here you see the skill of Belanger again. Now he has time to throw on rhythm. He's able to look over his receivers, take time. He feels comfortable with the play. And rolling out, watch him, he has time, he's looking, he throws on rhythm, beautiful throw. Oh, that's too bad. Great defensive interception. Tough break for Zumbrota.
And Glendon Felton once again comes up with the big play, the ball on the 33-yard line, the option to pitch back to Tom Maul, the man who just had the interception. And ironically, the man who makes the tackle is none other than Mike Frederick, the man who had the ball tipped away from him, or the man who couldn't hold on to the ball.
Now that's one of the things that with Tom Maul, it was the 7th interception this season. So he is an alert ball player. But that was a nice play by Frederick. The coaches will say, well, if you make a mistake, get back in there and make up for it. You can't let the game get you down.
This is kind of ironic. Mike Frederick, the man who had the ball in his hands, lost it. Tom Maul intercepted, and on the very next play, there he is. And look at that. He gave him a pretty good shot. He wanted to make sure the next time he has a chance to catch the football, he's going to catch it.
There was a case where the pitch was a little bit behind. I don't know if you saw, Joe, on the replay, but it had the makings of a big play. And we keep repeating football is a game of inches. There was a play that could have been a 10-yard play that ended up being no gain. 2nd
down, 8 yards to go. The ball now on the 32. Tom Maul inside. Maul up over the 35-yard line. And I'll tell you what, this guy's a tank. Glenn Bowman in on the tackle.
Well, he made 3 yards on one leg there. And if we get a chance on a replay, we had one of the Zumbrota players had him by the foot, had him pretty tight. Let's watch him now.
One tough
They got his left leg, and now he'll be hopping on his right leg. One. Oh, look, he's still got one more kick. Another kick. Terrific. I hope there's some scouts watching that.
I think they call that double and triple effort. Lepard put it up over the middle. He has his man. That's Dane Longbella with the reception, and Longbella is out for the first down, out over the 45-yard line. They'll mark it at the 48. Ken Belanger in on the tackle. Dane Longbella.
Dane looks like he's limping a little bit. We've got a replacement coming in. Nice play. I've really been impressed by this effort, second effort by the Glendon Felton. Coming across the middle, takes a hit, another 5 yards after he's been hit.
Well, Zumbrota has to be wondering what is going on. This is a team that not only won a lot of football games this year, 13, but it's a defensive team. We had movement in the line. Bill Aldrich, the guard, jumped before the snap. But here we have a team that not only won 13 games, Doug, they shut out many opponents. They had 28 straight quarters of shutout football. They've got to be down.
I think they're down. I think there certainly has to be a lot of credit given to the Glendon Felton defense because they have not allowed the Zumbrota offense to play their game. We saw a little bit of an opportunity here that Zumbrota had. They had a great run and a great throw, and just one of those things happened. Ball slipped out of the receiver's hands. But there will be some other great plays coming on in this game from Zumbrota.
We had a shot at Dane Longbella, the player who left. He looks fine. Tom Ball looks excellent. Ball, hard running. He'll pick up 7 on the play. Tackled by Mike Frederick.
That looked like Lonnie Hendricks coming up from the corner and doing exactly what a corner should do. No, it wasn't Lonnie Hendricks.
Matt Henning, I believe, was
no, Dean Berg came up, made a nice play, and forced the play back inside. And the defensive coaches are saying that's exactly the way you need to do it. It's too bad that we let them get the big gain that they did.
There was a good shot on the sidelines of Ken Belanger in his 20th year, 93, 84, and 2 at Zumbrota. It's second down, 6 yards to go. The handoff once again to Maul, and he is a workhorse. Dan Bennett and Dean Berg in on the tackle for the Tigers. 6:06 remaining in the half, 14-0. Glendon Felton leading.
Watch Zumbrota now as they get back and defensively. We'll see if this challenge against them is going to help them become more cohesive. And sometimes the team will just sort of begin to disintegrate. They get tired, they get discouraged. And this is the real mark of where champions are made. We'll see how they react when things are down. So far, everything has been clicking for Glendon Felton. It just really hasn't gone wrong at all for them.
And the Buffaloes call a timeout. They want to talk things over on offense. They really have controlled it. I think, you know, it's an old cliche. They've been winning the battle in the trenches, too.
Yes, they have.
Now, let's go to the official. We had a couple of penalties on that last play.
No, the game has not had many mistakes. We've just got Zumbrota having 2 penalties, 18 yards against them. Glendon Felton, 2 penalties, 10 yards assessed against them. For a championship game with as much at stake in the dome early in the morning, I think this is exceptional football. I'm very, very impressed.
What about this early morning breakfast at the Prep Bowl? What kind of effect does this have on the players?
Oh, man, we got to play at 9 o'clock. They're used to playing at night.
Back when you were playing, you guys used to try to come home by 9 o'clock in the morning. It's third down, 3 yards to go. The pass over the middle, looking, and he has his man, Joe Murphy. I take that back. That was, with the catch, was Jim Fox.
Wayne Lepard acted as if he were on a ladder there. He could see exactly what's happening, at least from our vantage point. And he threw the ball, what I thought was in a crowd. Watch him, he's looking now. He sees his receiver, and he throws it up. Go up there and get it. Great play.
Jim Fox came in the game just for one play, and it worked very well. The ball now on the 25-yard line. Good pickup on the play. 5:25 remaining in the first half. Wayne Lepard is doing an excellent job, and he'll throw it up on first down, looking to the outside for Murphy this time, and he overthrows his receiver, Lonnie Hendricks, in on the coverage for Zumbrota.
Good defense by Zumbrota, but Wayne Lepard was discouraged with himself. He turned around, he probably said, oh, shoot. He let the ball slip and made what I can see his first mistake. He's been acting exceptionally as a quarterback. Very, very good moves.
He doesn't seem to have the greatest arm in the world, but I think he's got that intangible, the leadership quality out there.
Yeah, and it's hard, too. He's working with a 2 tight end set and 1 flanker out wide, so that's really not a real passing set to work from. It gives him some restriction.
Well, he is 5 out of 7 so far, as you saw in the statistics, and that's not bad. On the option, he'll pitch it out to Maul. Maul has the corner, and he'll have the first down inside the 15-yard line. A pickup of 11 on the play. Ken Belanger finally ran him out of bounds on the 14-yard line.
Joe, that's a repeat of that same play where Mike Frederick came and caught Belanger, but this time the pitch. This time the pitch was out in front of him. He's able to take it in stride and get around the corner. All the difference in the pitch on that play. Nice running, nice play by Wayne Lepard. Nice read on the defense.
It's first down, the ball on the 14-yard line. Felton is driving once again. Tom Maul with a nice little spin move inside the 10. Now breaking it outside. He may go. Tom Maul is in the end zone, but he dropped the fumble. He dropped the football, and the ball will go out of bounds inside the 1-yard line.
He had moves like Chuck Foreman there. He was certainly tackled. Wayne Lepard made a fake like he was going to pass, and then it was the draw play. Zumbrota came up on very, very tight. Here he is. He looks like he's trapped. What a move. A Chuck Foreman move, breaking out of the outside. Boy, he surprised me on that play. Excellent, excellent running by.
That was a great play by Ken Belanger, who stripped him of the football, or it would have been a touchdown. I saw Maul go into the end zone. As you can see, he's picked up 81 yards already. Brad Pake, touchdown. Glendon Felton is in control of this football game.
Well, Tom Maul has been doing an exceptional job. That run may have broken Zumbrota at least for this half. They would have a hard time recovering when they have him trapped.
Great offensive line play by Tom Grover and Bill Mosseth.
Just blowing them back.
The guard and tackle on the left side of that offensive line.
I just wonder if there's a weight program at Glendon Felton. They've shown exceptional strength here on that offensive line.
It's 20-0. The handoff this time, and Maul will go nowhere. He's taken down by 3 members of that defense for the Tigers. Dan Bennett and Mike Olson in on the tackle. And so far, we have a game controlled by Glendon Felton. And Zumbrota really needs to get on the scoreboard here in the first half, trailing 20-0.
Coach Belanger is down with his players who are on the receiving team, and I imagine he's giving them some instructions. We're going to run a special return. We need a big play. We need to block, and we need to run.
Well, when you got Tom Maul in the backfield and you start concentrating on Tom Maul, and you can then hand the ball off to Brad Pate, plus you have Wayne Lepard, his leadership, his accurate passing, you've got an offense that's pretty tough to stop. And right now, Zumbrota is having trouble doing that. The kickoff, and it's a short one. Lonnie Hendricks will take the ball. Looks like he's going to pass it back. Yes, he is, to Eric Hemme.
They did it beautifully.
Oh, yeah, nice drive. Here goes Hemme. He's out to the 40, 45, almost to the 50-yard line. Joel McIntosh in on the tackle for Glendon Felton. And that was a good time for that call.
That's Murray Warmass' old play, and a great play. I watched John Wintermute run 84 yards against USC on that same play back in 1968. Stop and throw all the way across the field. It's a lateral. You can throw the ball as long as it's behind. It's called a lateral. He almost broke for a score here. Excellent running. That was the play that Coach Belanger was talking to his team about.
You called it. You called it. The ball just inside the 50-yard line, the 49-yard line of Zumbrota, and Belanger will put it up. He throws it, and he has his man Mike Frederick, and this time Frederick with an exceptional catch all the way down to the 31-yard line.
I think we've got a mismatch over there. Frederick is rather tall. We'll find out how tall he is in a minute. But Belanger was very, very confident when he back and threw that ball up in the air, and he said, Mike, go get it. I'm going to lay it up there for you.
6'2", 175-pound senior. He is the leading receiver and the starting defensive back for Zumbrota. An excellent catch, wasn't it?
Yes, exceptional catch. And he's got probably 5-6 inches on that cornerback, it looks like. We'll see that play again.
Belanger, 1st and 10 from the 31, under heavy pressure, and Brad Pake has it. The ball's loose. And if Glendon Felton has the ball or not, whether or not the ball was in play or not.
Here's one of those plays that can make or break a team. It looks like they're going to give it back to Zumbrota. He probably recovered the fumble out of bounds.
Watch Scott Oliver on this play, the head coach.
Oh, that's a tough one to call. I'd give it to Zumbrota. They need a break.
Well, it looks like they're going to get the break, too. It was a loss on the play of 8 yards. Bring the ball all the way back to the 38.5-yard line.
You ever wonder if officials think that way? We got to help this team a little bit.
I don't know. I couldn't say. I think they were thinking about it in the 7th game, 6th game of the World Series. Back to pass on 2nd down. They swing it out to Lonnie Hendricks, and he lost his footing. Joe Murphy in on the tackle for Glendon Felton. And let's now go to the field with Mr. Rob Lear.
Joe, a couple of notes here from the Zumbrota sideline. On the lateral on the kickoff, the coaching staff tells me they've been working on that in practice all the way since way back in August, but this is the first time they've executed that lateral on the kickoff. In terms of the offense, they said they're going to keep that ball in the air until they can finally get on the scoreboard. Let's see what happens. Let's go back to you.
Okay, good
All right,
job,
let's
Rob.
see that last play. Joe Murphy does a great job. What we can't see on the screen where he pushes off the receiver. Now as a cornerback, he comes back up to cover the flat. Oh, that's the case where the turf caught his shoes.
And unfortunately, Lonnie Hendricks is down.
There's a turf injury right there where his feet stuck and his body was going in a different direction. I just can't help but feel that the turf is a little more difficult on a younger player because their muscle strength isn't quite as developed as an older player, and they aren't able to overcome the strength of the body momentum and the feet staying in one spot.
Well, let's certainly hope it's nothing real serious. Here's the last scoring drive for Glendon Felton. 10 plays, 71 yards. They ate up another 3:36 on the clock, and Brad Pake scored the touchdown. 20-0, and here comes Lonnie Hendricks, and he does need the assistance off the field, and hopefully we'll see Lonnie back in this ball game. It looks like we might because he is now walking on his own.
Well, you hope that it's an ankle and not a knee injury because ankle injuries are usually less severe. Player can recover, and he oftentimes come back into the game and play. But we'll see where they start to tape him up and put ice.
Well, Zumbrota has a big play now. It's 3rd down, 20 yards to go.
Glendon Felton acting like a championship football team at this point, runner-up last year.
The ball just outside the 41-yard line, and from shotgun formation, Ken Belanger. He'll have a little time here. He's looking for Mike Frederick, and Frederick has his man beat. Frederick is going. Touchdown!
We're going to see, like I said, we're going to see that play again. They're going to start to try and isolate Frederick just like that. He's big and he's tall, and he says, I've got something to prove. I'm bigger than this guy. Throw that ball up there. Let me go after it.
I tell you what, this is just a spark I think Zumbrota needed. And the pass wasn't right on the mark. What made the play was the great catch by Frederick.
Now, he had to fight the defender here, and I would have called offense or defensive pass interference on this play because he's being pushed around, but he recovered very nicely.
And they'll go for the extra point. Ken Belanger, the All-State kicker, puts it up and through the uprights, and Zumbrota scores a touchdown that has to not only put them back in the ball game, but it has to uplift them. They know they've got a chance to at least compete in this ball game.
Yes, they do. They have shown so far that they have the ability to make the big play. You know, we saw the run by their running back here that gained about 35 yards. We've seen the passes that they can get big chunks of yardage. So far, Glendon Felton is showing that they're like a machine. They roll down the field, short pass plays, short runs. But now we're getting big plays out of Zumbrota, and that is the way that they can get back quickly.
A 41-yard scoring strike makes it 20-7. Glendon Felton leading with 3:10 remaining in the first half. And there you see the fans from Zumbrota, and I think they had to close up the banks, the barber shops, the bars, and just about everything.
Well, I think here's where Ken Belanger says, well, boys, we've got nothing to lose. We've got to pull out all stops. We're behind by 20 points. Let's get out there, and we'll try the crossfield lateral on the kickoff. We'll throw the long bomb and see if we can make something happen. And, boy, they have. It's been successful to take some of those risks.
Bob Prigge will kick off for Zumbrota. Back deep, Brad Pake, Joe Murphy, and Tom Mall for the Buffaloes. Nice kick. Driving Murphy all the way back to the 15-yard line. Murphy, a scat back with some running room up to the 40-yard line before he's taken down. A nice solid tackle. Dean Berg, the tackler for Zumbrota.
Nice run by Joe Murphy. He's quite a player. I've commented about his play moving up. And here we've got the scoring drive. 4 plays, 51 yards in a short scoring time. And there you see, we see how the big play can get a team back into the ball game. Let's go to Rob Lear on the sideline.
Some good news, Joe Schmidt, for the Zumbrota High School team. You see that Hendricks is walking around. He's flexing his knees. The trainers say they're going to hold him out this first half, but they expect him to be back second half. Just a bruised knee at this point.
Okay, Brad Pake picked up a couple of yards on the play. He was tackled by John Brecken and Matt Henning. Glendon Felton, 12-1 on the year, the champions of the Valley Plains Conference, their third straight playoff appearance. Their only loss this year to Fertile Batrami. The ball now on the 41-yard line. Second down, 9 yards to go. Lepard will put it up. He's trying to get it out to Murphy, and Murphy comes up with the reception inside Zumbrota territory. It'll be a first down.
Now, Joe Murphy has made 3 good plays in a row. He's come up hard as a cornerback.
They ruled it that he did not catch the ball, that he trapped it. Take a look here and see if we can catch it. Well, from that angle, it looked like he had it, but of course it could have bounced on the turf before he gained control of it.
The official was standing right there, and he was making his motion even before he was sliding on further. So apparently he saw something that we could not see. Mr. Official, we trust you on that one.
2 minutes, 8 seconds remaining in the half. 20-7, Glendon Felton over Zumbrota. Wayne Lepard will put it up over the middle. He overshoots his man intended for Joel McIntosh.
We're seeing a little change take place on the field here all of a sudden. We're seeing Zumbrota now upsetting Glendon Felton's momentum and their timing and forcing them to make mistakes.
Well, it's a 4th down situation and a punting situation, and Zumbrota will get a chance to get the ball back one more time.
Well, their last scoring drive, I think we saw a minute 29 or a minute 49. They've got 2 minutes left in the game, in the halftime. They've got enough time to score.
A low snap, and Tom Maul just gets the punt off. Eric Hemme trying to find some running room, but he's stacked up inside the 30-yard line.
Here's a case of heads-up play again by Mike Frederick. He was coming back to make a block for the receiver, and he had the opportunity to make a clip. He held off on the block, and so they weren't penalized an additional 15 yards.
32-yard punt, a 1-yard return for Eric Hemme, who comes limping off the field. The 5'10", 140-pound junior will be attended to. It looks like he'll be all right a little bit later. And then we'll take a look at the Glendon Felton bench. And coming into the game for the Buffaloes is number 82, Dale Kerr. He's a wide receiver. Will take over for the injured player.
Clock running with a minute 48 left in the game in the halftime.
1st and 10, the ball on the 28-yard line from the shotgun formation, and that time the quarterback Belanger kind of held up on the play. Good pressure there by Dane Longbella. It looked like he wanted to throw the ball, and at the last minute changed his mind.
Well, it's hard when you're facing a 6'4", 190-pound senior coming at you. Nice play by Dane Longbella.
He beat the running back who was up trying to block him, and it was just a mismatch in size. 2nd down, 10 to go from the 28-yard line.
It's hard to block those tall guys.
1:38 remaining in the half. This time, Belanger finds Frederick, and Frederick is quickly out of bounds, but it's only a pickup of 5 yards. Joe Murphy there in the coverage.
It might be only a pickup of 5 yards, Joe, but those are the kind of plays that when you're struggling as an offensive team, suddenly they become big. You have a successful play. You did exactly what it was supposed to do and get out of bounds, stop the clock. A minute 34 left in the half.
Belanger 5 out of 11 so far in this game. And he'll put it up on 2nd down. Rolling out in trouble, and he's taken down by Adon Alonso. Also in on the play, Dane Longbella, and they're putting some pressure on because they know he's going to be putting it up every down, and that is an awfully big sophomore, 5'11", 225 pounds.
Leading the team with tackles. On the replay, we won't get a chance to see all of it together, but the whole defensive unit is playing together. What we did not see on the defense, of course, we saw the defensive line knocking down the offensive quarterback here and pushing the line back, but the linebackers were able to we call shuck the receivers. They gave them a push and knocked them off their pattern, and so when Belanger goes back to throw, he can't hit them on rhythm.
All right, let's go to the field now with Rob Lear.
Joe, you're taking a look at the Zumbrota bench, and I want you to take a close look. You see we have the injured player with the bruised knee, and as you come down a little closer, you'll see an ice pack on a couple of ankles. It has been that kind of afternoon, or early morning, we should say, for Zumbrota. It doesn't seem to be any real serious injuries, but it might come down to the kinds of shoes that Zumbrota is using. Remember, we talked before, Glendon Felton has been here. They've on a couple of different types of shoes, and whatever the shoes that Zumbrota is wearing, they are catching their feet into the carpet, in the seams, and right now it has 3 players on the sideline. They're just going to have to hope and wait that the time will heal, and they'll find themselves back in the football game. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, Rob, one of the interesting things about the shoes for Zumbrota is that a bunch of local businessmen chipped in and helped purchase those shoes for the players. They cost about $40 a pair, and that's an awful lot of money for a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid. A lot of the businesses chipped in and helped buy these shoes, and right now they're causing some problems. Neil Kylo in on the punt. It's an awfully high snap, but Little Rush is on, and Kylo gets off a nice punt, and up for the fair catch is Brad Pake. It'll be on the 49-yard line of the Buffaloes, and that's where Glendon Felton will take over with 58 seconds remaining. It was a 29-yard punt and no return on the fair catch, so they've got 58 seconds to go 51 yards, or at least get into field goal territory. They lead it 20-7 over Zumbrota.
Rob, that was very, very astute of you on the sideline, and thank you for pointing that out. We'll have to watch those shoes and see if it makes a difference. I know that they do help the players in the trenches on making those low fire-out blocks.
Wayne Lepard pitches back to Tom Maul. Maul trying to get to that corner, and he does. Picks up 4 yards before he's shoved out of bounds by Mike Frederick. I'll tell you what, Frederick and Maul have a little personal battle going on here. They seem to match up against each other both offensively and defensively, and they're both outstanding athletes. We'll give them a pickup of 5 on the play, make it 2nd and 5. The ball now on the 46-yard line of Zumbrota with 57 seconds left. That was only a 1-second play. I think maybe the clock got off to a
I think
slow
we missed
start.
one there. But we haven't missed much. This has been an exceptional game so far.
2nd and 5. Watch this pitch out play. Are they going to run it again? Every time he goes in motion. Oh, they're setting up the option pass by Maul, and Maul is batted as he throws the pass. He was intending that pass, trying to get it off to Jim Fox, but Matt Henning was the big man in on the rush on that play.
That's such a hard play for a running back. All season long, he's been dying to throw the ball, and he's bragging to the quarterback, I can throw it better than you. He gets his chance to throw it, and he's going to force it. He says, this is my only chance. I'm going to throw it. I don't care who is around me or who's covered. Well, he played quarterback last year, so he does throw the ball very well.
It's an outstanding arm, and that time he just was under excellent pressure. It's a 3rd down situation, 5 yards to go. They swing it out to Joe Murphy, and Murphy is down for the 1st down inside the 40-yard line. Glenn Bowman in on the tackle for Zumbrota.
If we get a chance to see that play again, Joe, there was exceptional timing on a play that even pro teams have a difficult time in running. Watch how this running back comes out to make the block right. Oh, he just missed it.
Back to live action. Wayne Lepard throws it up. The ball's almost picked off. It ricocheted off a couple of players as he intended it for Joe Murphy. Dean Berg, along with Mike Frederick, on the coverage for Zumbrota. And Lepard is not wasting any time. There are 35 seconds left. They got this ball with 48 seconds left, and they've run 4 or 5 plays already.
Well, they've apparently this is reflective of the coaching staff, and we've talked about their attitudes. What does the young staff do? And they're not satisfied with 20-7. They want to go in there and at least maybe get 3 more or try and get 7 more.
2nd down, 10 yards to go from the 40-yard line. This time he has Murphy, who pitches it out to Tom Maul. Ball at the 25 to the 20, and he's taken out of bounds. Ken Belanger, and they're pulling out all stops, everything out of their hands.
Well, they are, and their timing is so exceptional. I talked about that on the last replay, where they throw out a wide pass. Here, we've watched the timing here. Catch, pitch, perfect pitch. Tom Maul catches it in stride, and that could have gone a long ways.
Well, now that's a play that takes a lot of practice, doesn't it? That's not a play you just run once in a while. I mean, you practice on once in a while. You only run it once in a while.
Both those plays take a lot of practice. You can spend 5 or 10 minutes on that one play, and you've got to do it every day in order to get it down with that kind of discipline.
28 seconds remaining. The ball on the 18-yard line. Lepard will put it up looking for Fox. Fox comes up with it in between 2 defenders inside the 5-yard line. I'm sorry, that was Joe Murphy on the reception. Take that back, Joe Murphy.
Joe Murphy is a big play guy. We've been highlighting him, and from our perspective, we don't know these players very well, and all of a sudden they earn our respect. He doesn't have all the height in the world, but watch how he goes up in the middle of all these defenders to grab that ball and make a nice catch and hang on to it. And now watch this. He'll jump up and he'll say, timeout, timeout. Stop the clock. Heads up play by Murphy.
He's only 5'7". He caught the pass between Ken Belanger and Glenn Bowman, and he just wanted this ball.
Yes, he did. Oh, he's up at least 2 feet off the ground. Watch him look right into that ball.
21 seconds remaining. The ball on the 3-yard line. Glendon Felton is threatening again.
Those coaches over there said, we're going to get another score.
Scott Oliver played a little football up in the CFL. I wonder if he had that pitch-out play up there.
I think they did. You know, they're wide open offense all the time. In fact, they have their running backs will get a head start on a dive play. I bet if he could do that, he'd sure have that play in here.
Well, the one thing definitely going for Glendon Felton is in the third quarter, they've been phenomenal if they take the lead here. The pass over the middle, and he has his man, Dane Longbella, touchdown. Just a quick slant over the middle. Wayne Lepard hits the big guy, 6'4", 186-pound Dane Longbella.
I was watching Scott Oliver over there, and he gave a real reaction with his hands. He said, all right, another score.
26-7.
They've had a lot of success with that little tight end slant over the middle. He just breaks inside, quick look and throw. The linebackers aren't able to cover that on that 5-2 defense where the linebackers are split. There's a little opening in there that you can hit a quick slant. What Zumbrota has to do to stop that play, they've got to knock that offensive tight end off of his pattern immediately so he can't get open.
They'll go for 2 points again. Lepard will put it up. He's looking for Maul, and the pass is tipped away. Mike Frederick in on the defense along with Dean Berg. Was looking, trying to get it out to Tom Maul. It's now 26-7 with 18 seconds remaining.
All right, we'll take another look at this touchdown play. Let's see if they could have just knocked him off there and given him a little bump. The linebacker would have had time to cover him. Did not, and so we have another score, another successful slant.
We've got 18 seconds remaining in the first half, and right now, if you're coaching for Zumbrota, what do you say to your team? You're 13-0. No one has run the ball. No one has passed the ball on you like this all season. You go into the locker room. What do you tell these kids?
I think you first of all tell them take your shoes off and relax a little bit, get a deep breath, and one of the most successful halftime talks I've ever heard is, look, they won the first half. We can make the big play. We come back, we win the second half, and we can win this ball game.
And there we see a shot of Lonnie Hendricks, the fine running back who is being helped off the field. And I don't know whether or not we'll see Mr. Hendricks in the second half. The ball fielded on the fly, and that with the ball there was Dean Berg. And Berg is up to the 38-yard line before he's hauled down. 14 seconds remaining. And I wonder if Belanger and crew will put it up. It looks like it. They are going without a huddle up to the line of scrimmage. They want to see if they can get another point on the board here before the half.
I'd send Mike Frederick right up the sideline. I'd throw it up to him and say, go get it, Mike.
Going to try that very same play the way it looks. Belanger back. This time he's trying to swing it out to Dean Berg, and the pass is picked off by Bob Prigge.
Now there's a case where we had about 25 defensive backs, and Tom Maul made a nice interception there, but it was a difficult time to throw a pass. Your incidence of success in those kind of situations is about 1 in 100.
Tom Maul with an excellent interception on that play. And this first half, we've seen a lot of offense so far in this first half as we take a look at the replay. But so far, it's just been dominated by the Glendon Felton offense. I don't know if we'll get the time on it, but they've controlled the ball for most of this first half. Let's go to Rob Lear on the sidelines now with one of the head coaches.
We are with Zumbrota coach Ken Belanger. And Ken, your club is down in a big way, and I imagine this is something that has not happened to you all year. You look at your record, you're unbeaten, and you've probably dominated most of the games you've been in.
Right. This is very unusual for us, but I felt we were doing pretty well. We came back to 20-7. This last touchdown hurt, and what probably hurts a little more is the fact that we have 3 boys injured right now, and all 3 of them are defensive backs, and they're our return men. And so we'll have to regroup, and we'll have to look at who we're going to put in those spots, and hopefully Lonnie will be able to play again in the second half. That'll be an important part for us if he can.
Considering the extent of the injuries, they look to be knee and ankle related. We were speculating here on the sidelines it may be something to do with the footwear, because the other sideline has got no problems whatsoever.
I don't know exactly what it is. I think they're all from twisting, and so that's a possibility.
You got confidence your club can come back?
Very much so. We can score a lot of points, and we're going to come back and score in the second half.
All right, we'll look for those points in the second half. Joe, let's go back upstairs.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob. We'll return with the exciting halftime activities, including the Waseca High School Marching Band, right after this.
You can read this. 3-year highlights. We had 7 of them. The first one is the Glendon Felton touchdown run, regular speed.
Okay.
The next one's regular speed. The Felton.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first of our outstanding halftime shows. Welcome the Waseca High School Band under the direction of Richard Dupont.
return to the Prep Bowl with highlights of the first half action between Zumbrota and Glendon Felton. Right after this, Zumbrota, surprisingly, there have not been any fumbles in this game in which the other team has been able to come up with it. Penalties are even. So basically what you would expect in the statistics, Doug.
I would expect more mistakes than what we have seen. And I've been very, very impressed with the discipline that the coaches have been able to instill in these players.
All right, let's go to Rob Lear now down on the sidelines.
Joe, we were standing with Scott Oliver, the excited and very happy and pleased coach of Glendon Felton. His team, of course, up on the scoreboard 26-7. And safe to say this first half gave you more of a commanding position than you ever thought possible coming in?
Yes, we didn't expect to be coming into the second half with a lead like this, but we played a good half of football, and there's still another half of football left to play.
Everybody billed your club as being a controlled offensive team with just a few twists and tricks, but we've saw quite a few of those work in your favor there in the first half.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of plays we work on during the year, and we've got a good offensive coordinator, Coach Randy Sullivan, and he's the one that's calling those plays, and he's the one that puts those wrinkles in.
From a coach that's come all the way from Winnipeg, Canada, you're doing a great job. Best of luck the rest of the way. Joe, let's go back upstairs.
All right, and we'll be back for that second half kickoff in the Class C title game right after this. Of action here in the Prep Bowl, the Class C title game. Joe Schmidt along with Doug Kingsrider, and Glendon Felton leads this game 26-7, and Zumbrota has 24 minutes on the clock to get something going offensively, plus they have to stop that highly potent offense from Glendon Felton.
Yes, they sure do. But Coach Belanger says, expect us to come back and score a lot of points. They've already shown they can make the big play, Joe, so we're anxious to see it.
All right, doing the kicking will be Joel McIntosh, and McIntosh gets it up. With the ball is Eric Hemme, and Hemme out over the 25 to the 30. He was about a man or two from breaking that one, taking it up to the 36-yard line.
Well, we're seeing some good hitting right off the bat. There was a helmet lying on the field, so oftentimes these teams can come back all fired up, but it looks like Zumbrota is coming back with a lot of confidence. They're confident in their abilities. They're 13-0, and we'll see the championship style that they've been able to maintain.
And I'll tell you what, after looking at that stat, you see Glendon Felton has an awful lot of work to do. Or I should say Zumbrota does, because the Buffaloes have only given up 3 points all year in the third quarter, and their defense is tough right away. Darren Olson in on the tackle as it was a straight give up the middle to Dean Berg, and he went nowhere.
Darren really held the line right there. I mean, they just did not get anywhere beyond him. He stood all those offensive linemen up, and that's the job of the defensive lineman. Make them stand up.
Well, I think it's important for Glendon Felton to set the tempo right away. They have set the tempo throughout the game, but a lot of times the team can come out and regain the momentum right away, and that's exactly what Zumbrota is trying to do. It's second down and a long 9. Belanger will put it up. He's looking over the middle for Frederick. He has his man out over the 40-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. Bill Massett, the linebacker, in on the play.
I think Belanger wanted to go to a different receiver. He kind of was a little bit upset, and he wanted to come out, I think, and make a little bit more. He's left himself with 3rd and 4 now, but nice catch. Nice throw, nice catch over the middle. And so we've got 4 yards to go here for the first down.
The ball on the 41-yard line. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. The first drive of the second half for Zumbrota. Belanger looking outside, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Frederick was trying to break away from Joe Murphy, and he did not have a chance because Murphy, the cornerback from the Buffaloes, was all over him.
He's here what the call is right now.
And if it is against the defense, it'll bring up an automatic first down, and that's exactly what it is. As you can see, Captain Ken Belanger says, we'll take that penalty, and that'll give them a little break as they mark it off. A big 15-yard mark off all the way down the Glendon Felton territory. Here's the official call.
Defense. First down.
And a nice thing about these high school refs, they're not like the pro refs. They don't tell everybody who did the penalty. Especially those offensive linemen for holding. That's the only time they're ever mentioned in the game. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball on the 44-yard line. And there's a little draw play. Dean Berg up the middle, and he barrels his way for 9, possibly 10 yards. He'll be very close to the first down. Joel Kowalski, the linebacker, along with Tom Mall in on the tackle.
The Zambrota's had their best success with these little fake plays. It's almost like a Statue of Liberty.
Look at
Everybody's
that
looking
hole.
for the pass. Yes, great hole. Their defensive line is now anticipating pass, and they've had a lot of success, Zambrota has, with that type of offense.
It's second down and short. A gain of 9 on the play, and from the shotgun formation, they'll go again. Belanger, he likes it outside to Frederick, who's one-on-one with Murphy. This time Murphy comes up with it. The ball is dropped loose, and they say it's an interception down on the 6-yard line. Last time Frederick was a little too rough. This time, or I should say Murphy was a little too rough on Frederick. This time Murphy comes up with the interception.
I think this is a case of smart coaching. We have a coach who says to Joe Murphy, you go and you hit that Mike Frederick, and he did the last play and knocked him off balance. Of course, he got the penalty, but now Frederick is afraid to go deep, and Murphy is able to stay back behind him and make the interception.
That may have been a case where the coach went to the well once too often. The ball on the 6-yard line, and once again, Wayne Lepard will take over the handoff, a straight give up the middle, a gain of 4 yards for Pink.
One of the keys, of course, in coaching is to be able to adjust quickly, Joe, to what the other team is doing. And there's a case where Oliver for Glendon Felton said, they've got that Mike Frederick. He's a great athlete. They're going to throw the ball high. We've got to do something different to stop that play so that they don't run all over us with it.
It was a pickup of 3 yards on the play. 455 schools played high school football in the state of Minnesota this year, and only 10 made it to the Prep Bowl. That's 2%.
Glendon Felton's had 3 interceptions today. They're doing just very, very well in the defensive back category.
On the option, the pitch back to Tom Mall, and Mall is stuffed. Mike Frederick comes up immediately to make the initial hit, and he'll lose at least 4 on the play, all the way inside the 5-yard line. Dan Bennett also coming from that defensive tackle position.
Defensive line is coming up and playing strong ball. Watch the linebackers come up here, come off his block. Bennett following up. Nice hit. Nice play.
Well, that Dan Bennett must have at least a dozen tackles today. He's been all over the field.
He has been all over the field.
Number 64. He also is the starting center. The handoff to Mall, and Mall has some running room, trying to cut it to the outside to the 10, up to the 15. He has some room, but he will be taken out of bounds. Finally, shoved out.
They took that play from Zambrota. There we got the same fake, going back to pass, and then the handoff, and we had the same wide open hole, but some excellent running by Tom Mall.
Once he gets to the outside, every time he can break it. He just seems to have that great speed once he cracks it outside.
As he comes up now on the replay, let's see where he hurts his ankle a little bit. He was limping a little bit, but he's coming outside. Boy, he can turn that corner quickly, can't he? Right there is where he probably scuffed his ankle a little.
And the thing you have to be impressed about with Tom Mall is he's a great outside runner, but I think running inside is really what he'd rather do, because he loves to mix it up in the middle. It's a first down, the ball on the 22-yard line. This time Mall will try to mix it up in the middle, and he breaks the tackle out over the 25-yard line. Bennett finally comes up to make the tackle along with Glenn Bowman.
I'd like to see a statistic on how many tackles Tom Mall has broken today. I was going to say earlier that it may not have been a bad strategic move on Zambrota's part to get an interception down on the 5-yard line and put Glendon Felton in deep territory, and maybe they could pick up a touchdown that way. But Glendon Felton has come back and moved it out now almost to the 26.
And the drive started on the 6-yard line. It's second down, 6 to go from the 26. The second man threw his ball, and he will not pick up any, or maybe a yard or 2 on the play. And guess who's there for the tackle once again? Dan Bennett.
We've got 3rd down and 4 situation now, Joe. Let's look and see if it's a passing situation. We'll see if Zambrota can do anything differently defensively to come up with a big play. Here is a case where an interception could really help them out.
The ball on the 32-yard line. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. 6:49 remaining in the 3rd quarter. The handoff up the middle to Pake, and Pake will go nowhere. And guess who's there once again? Dan Bennett along with Bob Prigge, the linebacker.
Zumbrota appears to be recapturing this defensive form that obviously they have had throughout the season. A shutout is a very difficult thing, as you know, and then to have 6 in the last 7 games is just stupendous defensive play. They're now looking like they're playing like a defensive unit and get the ball back, have stopped this drive, and now we'll see what Zumbrota's offense can do when they get the opportunity.
Tom Maul will punt. John Milo and Mike Frederick are back deep, and Milo fumbles the football, and he loses control of it, and the ball is recovered by Glendon Felton at the midfield stripe. It looked like Milo was trying to pitch the ball back, but he lost control of it, and Brad Pake recovers right on the midfield stripe.
That's so unfortunate to have that happen. I watched Milo as he was looking for the ball, and he was looking upfield. It's a returner's dream to get a low kick like that because the covers are going to take a long time to get down the field and give them a chance. He looked up the field, and he didn't really look at the ball. Now he tried to make something of the play, and it just did not work.
There's a timeout on the field with the score. Glendon Felton 26, Zumbrota 7. The ball on the 50-yard line, and we'll have to keep our eye on Tom Maul. He has 104 yards and 21 carries. The record in the Prep Bowl is 156 yards, also by a running back from Glendon Felton, as Pake takes the ball up the middle for a couple of yards. Let's go to Rob Lear on the sideline.
Thanks, Joe. You may or may not have noticed that there are special decals on the back of the Glendon Felton helmets. The footballs represent hard hits. The skeletons like this represent terrific plays on the special teams. Yes, it's a way of rewarding the players for their contributions, and that's why there are so many decorations on the back of this Glendon Felton football team, because there's been lots of contributors, that is. Let's go back to you.
All right. Gotta like those skeletons for the headhunters down there. Pake will run it inside the 45-yard line down to the 43. As I was mentioning earlier, Tom Maul is 104 yards rushing so far today, and he's a little shaken up right now. He's not even in the ball game at this point. The record in the Prep Bowl is 156 yards rushing. That was by John Dahlman from Glendon Felton, and that was last year in the Class C title game.
Rob pointed out the special teams, which we have really not mentioned much about today, and thank you, Rob, for doing that. But there was a big play, a fumble recovery now on special teams.
The ball on the 44-yard line. It's 3rd down, 4 yards to go. The pitch back, Tom Maul's back in the ball game, and Tom Maul is taken down hard. He'll be short of the 1st down. In on the tackle was Dan Bennett along with Dean Berg.
I think one of the coaches had commented that they don't practice at all on special teams. And, of course, in college and professional ball, with the number of players that you have, Joe, you get more specialty. And special teams are a very, very integral part of the game. Here, where you've got everybody playing both offense and defense, I think they probably lose their importance to the coaching staff. They've got more things to work on.
We talked about a potential record being set as it's a 4th down situation. We'll get to it in a minute. 4th down, 2 yards to go. And Glendon Felton, leading 26-7, will go for it. The pass over the middle, and it's picked off. The interception to Glenn Bowman, and Bowman with a nice run back, and Zumbrota has the football.
First turnover for Zumbrota in their favor. They were losing 4-0 in terms of turnovers now. They get a break. The ball was tipped, I think, several times. Let's watch and see. There's 1, 2, 3. Oh, finally he got it.
The pass was intended for Dane Longbella, and he did get his hands on the ball, but it was tipped away. There's a timeout with the score 26-7 in favor of Glendon Felton. We'll be back 3rd quarter. The ball on the 38-yard line. Zumbrota will take over after the interception. And from the shotgun formation, Ken Belanger will go. He's going to air it out here in the second half. He's looking long for Frederick, cutting over the middle, and Frederick comes up with a spectacular catch. Right on the coverage was Tom Maul and Brad Pake, but Frederick just went up using his height and his great hands to come down with that reception.
Joe, what I always enjoy about a receiver is when they think they've made a great reception, you'll watch Mike after he's down on the ground. He'll hold the ball up and said, yes, I thought so too, crowd. He goes up after it right in the middle of the defenders.
A pickup of 36 yards on the play.
Oh, and look at Belanger. He really takes a hit. He doesn't know how successful that play was.
Frederick's having a pretty good afternoon. They'll try going back to him once again. And the pass is overthrown this time by Belanger. But on the afternoon, Mike Frederick has 5 receptions for 113 yards.
We'll have to watch and see how successful Zumbrota can be without Lonnie Hendricks. You know, he gained over 1,200 yards this year, and he is currently sitting on the bench, and I think his shoulder pads are off, so he'll not be able to play anymore this afternoon.
Second down, 10 yards to go. The ball on the 25-yard line. Zumbrota driving again. 3:17 remaining in the third quarter. And it looks like they will be going from that shotgun formation much of the second half. Belanger, the draw play. A big opening for Dean Berg. He's down inside the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 7 on the play. Brad Pake in on the tackle for the Buffaloes.
Brad really made a nice play. He was able to grab his foot, and he couldn't quite get him down, but he was able to hang on until he got some help. Nice play by Brad Pake. Here he comes up and hangs on for dear life.
During the season, Berg rushed for 492 yards. 5'10", 160-pound senior. The ball now inside the 20-yard line on the 19. It's third down. A long 4 yards to go. The second man through is Dean Berg, and Berg barrels his way down to the 15. He will be very close to the first down, depending on where they mark the ball. Darren Tweeten in on the tackle for Glendon Felton, and it looks like, yes, they do give him the first down on his forward progress, so the ball now on the 15-yard line. Let's go down to the bench with Rob Lear.
Joe, the news not good for Lonnie Hendricks. You're taking a look at the swollen right knee of Hendricks, who has been a key man on this Zumbrota football team all season long. Shoulder pads are off. Crutches are on the way. He is going to have to go over to Hennepin County Medical Center to get a further examination of exactly the extent of this injury. It's all through for him for the day. Let's go back to you.
And we see the play right there, and it's stuffed immediately. I should say Belanger tried to get it to the outside. He's down to the 11-yard line, and we took a look at the knee of Lonnie Hendricks. We didn't have to look at the knee. We could just look at the long face to tell that he won't be back in this game. Lonnie Hendricks, 1,208 yards rushing on the year, 255 carries. He scored 13 touchdowns, and Zumbrota is doing it here in the second half without one of their key members. And what does this do to a team when you lose a player like Lonnie Hendricks? He is one of the key players on the team.
Well, certainly from a coaching standpoint, you have to say we can no longer do the certain things that we could do with him in here. And it's hard to ask somebody who's been in a backup position to come in and say, hey, do exactly what Lonnie could do.
Here we see Dane Longbella being helped off the field. I think he got his bell rung. And that's not a very good feeling either. That ever happened to you when you were out there, Doug?
Oh, it happened to me, and I'm probably still suffering from getting my bell rung a number of times.
Okay, there was a pickup of a couple of yards on the last play. Second down and 6 yards to go. The ball on the 11th-yard line. Belanger this time goes up under the center. The option play, and this time Bob Prigge with the ball, and he's tackled by Kurt Ellingson, the defensive end, doing a good job on the option.
Joe, Kurt Ellingson really did a fine job there. That was going to be an option, and I think Ken Belanger was looking very hard at him, riding the fake. I think he wanted to make the pitch, but Ellingson just forced the play too far into the backfield, and to avoid the fumble, I think Ken just went ahead to hand off. There's a case where the defense forces a play and makes it unsuccessful.
1 minute remaining in the third quarter. It's third down. 6 yards to go from the 11 for Zumbrota. Belanger on the option. This time the option reverses. Mike Frederick weaves his way down to the 8-yard line. It's a pickup of 3 yards. He's met there by Joe Murphy along with Joel Kowalski.
It appears that Glendon Felton is watching the offensive sets of Zumbrota, and they weren't afraid of pass at all. The whole defensive backfield was coming forward upon the snap of the ball.
Here's a big play coming up for Zumbrota. It's fourth down and 4 yards to go, and they're going to take a timeout to talk it over. And this right now would have to be considered the play of the game for Zumbrota. They're trailing 26-7, 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter. They need to punch one in right now.
Yes, they do. And if I were the coach, I'd be thinking in terms of throwing that floating pass to Mike Frederick. And this is where Scott Oliver over with Glendon Felton says, well, I knew I was going to get into this situation. They were going to have the ball down in the goal line. Let's try and stuff that off. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Belanger says to his son and how they can communicate down there as father and son and talk about the game.
Here's a team that averaged 31.8 points a game, and they gave up 7.2. I'm talking about Zumbrota. They find themselves on the losing end right now of a 26-7 battle, and they'd like to punch one in right now.
This has got to be a father's dream to be able to coach his son in a high school championship football game.
I talked to him earlier in the week, and I asked him about the pressure of coaching your son, and he said, I loved every minute of it. And that's got to be a great reward. And let's see what happens here. 4th down, 3 yards to go. The ball on the 8-yard line. Play action pass. He has a man open, and it will be good enough for 1st down. With the reception is Glenn Bowman, number 86, and Bowman comes down with it inside the 5-yard line. It was a pickup of 5 yards on the play down to the 3.
Ken actually could have put a little more stuff on that ball. I bet for Bowman that the ball took a lifetime to get there. He was waiting and waiting and waiting, and he couldn't come back to it like the receiver is trained because then he would have missed the 1st down.
Well, on 4th down, you don't want to drill it too hard. I imagine he just wanted to make sure he had good touch on the ball. If he had at that, I think I could have caught that ball. 1st and goal from the 3. The handoff up the middle to Bob Prigge. Touchdown. Bob Prigge bowls his way in from 3 yards out, and Zumbrota is back in this ball game.
There's a drive that could really give some spark to Zumbrota, and Bob Prigge started running like we've been watching Tom Mall run. He was dragging Glendon Felton players on into the end zone. It was like, I'm going in. There's no two ways about it. We'll have a chance to watch him here. Breaking through, breaking tackles. Great block. Number 65.
Guess who that is? Oh, I thought it was Bennett. It's
Matt Henning. Excellent job, Matt Henning.
And if you want to see the guy who can change his shoes quickest in the stands, you ought to take a look at take a look at Ken Belanger as he changes his shoes right after the touchdown so he can come in and kick the extra point. And it's right through the middle. It's 26-14 now, a 12-point deficit for Zumbrota with 2 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. And Doug, they're right back in this ball game.
Yes, they are. And of course, they've shown, I don't know how long this last drive took. We'll have to find that out. But they're able to move the ball quite rapidly down the field. And, of course, with their big play people, we're starting to see Glendon Felton players go off to the sidelines. They're starting to get nicked up a little bit, and the momentum of this game could turn. We still have a great football game here, Joe, and I can't predict who's going to win this game. Can you?
No way. I think what we're seeing here is outstanding leadership by 2 quarterbacks. 2 senior quarterbacks who are gutsy performers, who are winners, because the leadership they've displayed in this game has been incredible. Bob Prigge will be doing the kicking for Zumbrota with 2 seconds left. Back deep, Joe Murphy, Brad Pake, and Tom Mall. And Tom Mall will take the ball on the 12. Looking for the hole, and he's got one. Up to the 38-yard line, and Mall was about 1 tackle away from breaking that one. That's the end of the 3rd quarter of the Class C championship game with the score. Glendon Felton 26, Zumbrota 14. .61 yards, 3:54, and Bob Prigge with the 3-yard run. 26-14, and we have the 4th quarter left to play. Glendon Felton with the football. And I'll tell you what, Tom Mall was about 1 tackle away, 1 man away from breaking that one a long way on the kickoff.
I was very surprised that they didn't force the play. Zumbrota didn't force the play a little sooner, and that was a little mistake in being tentative on that last kickoff return. That could have cost a great long run against them.
Pake was the ball carrier on that one. Tackled by Bob Prigge. He was stopped for a 1-yard gain. Mike Olson also in on the tackle. It's 2nd down, 9 yards to go. The ball on the 39-yard line. And right now, I think the Buffaloes just want to get some kind of a ground game going, eat up a little bit of that clock with a 12-point lead, and that's what they'll do, and they've got a good man to do it. as Tom Mall fights his way for a pickup of 8 yards. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Matt Hennigan on the tackle along with Glenn Bowman.
Joe, he took a 2-yard play and made it into an 8-yard gainer. Here he comes on the sweep. By all rights, he should have been going down here. Now he bounces off a tackle, starts dragging 2 or 3 guys. Excellent running by Tom Mall. He's been doing it all day long and set an outstanding standard here.
Well, there's no question they'd love to see Mall eat up the clock right now, and he's doing a good job. 10:46 remaining. It's 3rd down and very short. The straight give up the middle is to Mall, and Mall will fight his way for 4 yards.
From our vantage point here, it appears that Glendon Felton is getting back into their first and second quarter roll now. That offensive line starting to push back on Zumbrota. Zumbrota has had the misfortune of having a few players out and hurt, and they're having only 36 players in the game. The depth gets a little bit thin.
The ball now in Zumbrota territory on the 48-yard line. It's 1st and 10. Lepard hands off to Mall, and Mall is met by 3 men in red shirts after a pickup of 2, possibly 3 yards. Dan Bennett there in the tackle. We mentioned Dan Bennett before. So far in this game, he's credited with 7 solo tackles and 3 assists. I think we've called his name a few more times than that, but those are the official stats. The record for tackles in a Prep Bowl game is 20.
20 tackles.
20 tackles, assist and unassist. So a young man from Burnsville who'll be playing in that Burnsville championship game tonight. Hand up off the middle, and there's another good gain. Be very close to a first down. This time Paik with the ball.
We haven't seen...
that was Mall, excuse me.
Yes, we haven't seen that spin counter here, I think, since about the second quarter, where we talked about it earlier. The quarterback turns around and does a complete spin like he's going to make a pitch and then gives back to the running back, in this case Mall, coming up the middle. It has been a successful play for Glendon Felton so far today.
Scott Oliver looking on with a big smile on his face. It's 3rd down is short again. The hand up the middle. This time it's Paik, and Paik will have the first down after picking up 3 yards. John Brecken in on the tackle for the Tigers. And they're moving the chains, and the clock is ticking down. 9:02 remaining in the final period.
I think Zumbrota's defense is starting to get a little tired. Even though I hate to say this as a former offensive player, defensively, when you're on the field a long time, it gets just a lot harder.
You guys start coming up the ball.
Tom Mall and Brad Paik have done a job, and Tom Mall's carried the ball 32 times today. And that is a Prep Bowl record. Make it 33 as Mall is down to the 32-yard line after a pickup of 5 on the play. Chris Quast in on the tackle.
We have talked a little bit about the stress on these players. Many of them are going both ways, as we talked about earlier. But then you combine that with the suddenly it's 70 degrees or 69 degrees in the Metrodome. And in the adrenaline flow of this high championship game, they've got to be starting to wear down pretty quickly now.
It was a pickup of 5 yards on the play. Make it 2nd and 5. Mall, again, his 34th carry of the game. He only picks up a couple this time, but he has been a real workhorse. Dan Bennett in on the tackle.
I think if I were Scott Oliver, I'd want to start taking Mall out for a little while and putting in someone else that was a little fresher and giving him a rest. We've still got 7.5 minutes, a little longer than that, to go in the 4th quarter. And one big play by the defense here, and this whole game can still turn around, even though momentum is on Glendon Felton's side right now.
It's 3rd down, 3 yards to go. The ball on the 30-yard line. Tom Mall again. Tom Mall is breaking it. Tom Mall is gone. Tom Mall, 30-yard touchdown run, and Mr. Mall has had himself an afternoon here.
Like I said, Joe, they ought to take Tom Mall out and give him a little rest. He looks really tired.
Yeah, he's really beat, isn't he? He's so tired, he just ran 30 yards with another touchdown. Great
Breaks
run.
a tackle again. Cuts to the outside. Now he turns it on. Boy, he's got enough that when he sees that goal line, he's excited.
32-14, and Glendon Felton
He must be pretty close to that record.
I think he does have the record now. We'll have to get our stats going on that officially. They're going for 2 points here. And Lepard keeps the ball, and he's come up short. And since Mike Olson on the tackle, since they made that first 2-point conversion, they haven't done very well, but they've leading it on the score. Timeout. Glendon Felton leading 32, Zumbrota 14.
Technology business, you need a bank that knows high-tech.
Felton defense. Watch Mr. Belanger as he is taken down very hard. There was a fumble on the play, and it was recovered by Adon Alonso. And as you can see, Ken Belanger Jr. is down on the field, and that is his father standing up in the red sweater looking down. I'm sure he's not only a very concerned parent right now, but it's got to be a very tough time for him.
It's a very tough time, and I watched him take his headset off and drop his program, and he went from being coach to dad. We were talking about that relationship and how do you separate it, and I think here we found a separation. He's out there to make sure his son is okay, and as soon as he comes back to the sideline, he'll pick up the headsets again, he'll get another quarterback in, and they'll go from there.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that's got to be a tough situation to be in. Your son's a quarterback, an outstanding athlete. He's led your team to the playoffs, and it's been a tough one here. The Glendon Felton defense has just been superb. Their whole team was ready to play this game. They've got 18 seniors from that squad that lost the title last year by 6 points. They remembered that.
I don't think we got the opportunity to see Ken Belanger at his best today. I think he was held back. He was forced to throw off rhythm by the defense of Glendon Felton, and I don't think we had an opportunity to really see all the things that he can do, because we know that we watch him in warm-ups. He's a great quarterback and has had an exceptional year in leading this undefeated team to the state finals.
And Ken is still down on the year coming into this game. He threw for 1,395 yards. The all-state kicker. He starts at safety. He does just a super job. And when we do the Class B game a little bit later, we're going to be able to see the Wacker coaching combination, in which Tyrone Wacker is the head coach and his son, Wade Wacker, is the starting quarterback. The same type of situation where a father-son, they're going for that state title together.
Well, like Ken has said, that's a great thrill.
Let's go down to the field and see what Rob has for us now. Rob?
Joe, we just have a preliminary report from a trainer who's standing on the sideline. We don't want to, of course, go out on the field and interfere with anything that's going on out there. The quarterback was hit so hard he was actually knocked out, blacked out, in fact, and they just want to take every precaution to take their time. Right now they're contemplating if they haven't bring out a stretcher. It looks like he's back up on his feet. But he was, in fact, hit so hard, Joe. The earlier report is that he, in fact, was blocked out altogether. Let's go back to you till we find out some more.
All right, Rob, let's certainly hope it's nothing serious. And as we can see, he's being helped off the field, and dear old Dad's right there. Trainers help him out. 9 out of 19 for 109 yards today. Pretty decent stats. He was under pressure very much during the day, and Glendon Felton will take over with the ball on the 31.5-yard line.
Those stats could have been markedly different. There were 2 or 3 dropped passes that were well thrown on target and would have added at least 50 or 60 yards to his statistics.
It's first down, the handoff to Paik, and Paik powers his way for 4 yards. And if Glendon Felton can put the ball in the end zone, it'll be a new Prep Bowl record, because the most points scored in the game by a team was back in 1984. Last year, Norman County West had 37 points, and right now, Glendon Felton has 32 points, so they could go up over that record. And they're passing it up yet. On second down, trying to get it out to Joe Murphy, and Murphy came up with a spectacular catch. What hands by Joe Murphy. Mike Frederick was all over him.
I don't know if you all have the appreciation for what it takes to make a catch like that.
Oh, you just like ends.
Oh, I love ends, but to turn around in midair and grab a ball that's behind him and dive at the same time, just incredible. He is an exceptionally gifted athlete. Joe Murphy.
Kind of reminds me of a Joe Washington type guy. A little
Yes, he
scat
does.
back who's just in there doing whatever he needs to do. The ball on the 8-yard line. Tom Mall, and Tom Mall is down to the 1. A pickup of 7 on the play. Tom Mall was going for another touchdown. Glenn Bowman in on the tackle. Mike Ritter also in on the tackle, who's now playing safety.
Tom Mall looked like he was a little rested again. He was, when I talked about him being tired earlier, he was a little bit flat, but now he's come back and really kicking up his heels.
And there we get a shot on the sideline of Mr. Belanger, and he looks like he's feeling a little bit better, but he looks up at the scoreboard, and it hurts. The handoff to Brad Pake, and he dances into the end zone, and we have a new Prep Bowl record, as that makes it 38-14. Glendon Felton has scored more points than any other team in all the games played here at the Metrodome, and that sets a Prep Bowl record, and they're going to be awfully proud of that one.
Yes, they are, and they've played almost flawless football. We've seen earlier stats on only 2 penalties and a few yards in that. Very, very few fumbles. We've got an offensive line here who is pushing back Zumbrota and blocking them, knocking them down, creating great holes. It's happened all day long for the score.
Brad Pake's 3rd touchdown of the afternoon. They'll go for 2 again. Tom Mall. Tom Mall is taken down short of the touchdown, and it is 38-14 with 4:09 remaining. Bob Prigge was in on the tackle of Mall there. You know, we talked so much about Tom Mall today, what he's done. What about Brad Pake? 3 touchdowns, a couple running, 1 through the air. That's quite a running back tandem they have there.
Yes, it is. There's no one. I'm surprised. I'd like to see the team that beat Glendon Felton this year. I think it happened earlier in the season.
I think it was the Dallas Cowboys. They look awfully good here. And the thing about it, they're scoring 38 points against a team that only gave up 7 points a game all year. A team that at one point had a stretch of 28 quarters in a row in which no one scored. So they're doing it against a very tough defense.
Yes, they are. An exceptional defense.
4 minutes and 9 seconds remain in the game. And once again, the Buffaloes will kick off. With the ball, that's John Milan. John Milo. He's up to the 40-yard line, and that's where Zumbrota will take over. And we'll have a new quarterback in the game, Jeff Pearls. Here's the scoring drive. The latest scoring drive for Glendon Felton. 4 plays, 26 yards, 143. And Brad Pake with his 3rd touchdown of the day, a 2-yard run. Mike Ritter is now in at quarterback, a 5'9", 155-pound junior. He wears number 9 on his back. He runs it up the middle to Dean Berg, and Berg picks up 7 or 8 hard-fought yards. Joel Kowalski, the linebacker, in on the play.
I was looking for a fumbled snap there, as oftentimes the case. A new quarterback comes in, and he didn't get the ball cleanly, but to Mike Ritter's credit, he was able to get it around and get it in the back's hands so that he didn't have to fumble, and they were able to make 8 yards on the play.
That only happens for the Gophers when they bring in a quarterback. It's 2nd down. 3 yards to go. The second man through, and he's stuffed short of the 1st down. He'll be awfully close. Dean Berg is the running back. Picked up a 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Joe, I've just got to talk about Zumbrota and their spirit. They're down. They've got no chance to win this game. They've been really beaten quite handily by a team that played very well today. They're continuing to fight back. They don't look discouraged. They're still trying. That says a great deal about the coach and themselves as persons.
It's 3rd and short. The handoff to Berg, and Berg will have the 1st down. No, they're not going to give up. This is the Prep Bowl. They played all year. They started practice in late July. They played all year with the goal of making it to this game right here.
Well, they're sure showing themselves. In fact, both teams, I'm so impressed with them. They are both championship caliber, and it's been a delight to be able to call this game. Each community should be very, very proud of their boys.
No question about it. Zumbrota now inside Buffalo territory. The handoff to Dean Berg, and Berg will not pick up any yards. He's stuffed. Maybe will lose a yard on the play.
It took them, he made 5 yards after he got hit, but he went directly to the sideline.
Speaking of the sideline, let's check out Rob Lear.
Joe, the Metrodome's medical staff has told us about the quarterback, Ken Belanger. They say that he is just now dizzy. It was just a tough blow. In fact, football terms, he had his bell rung. In fact, that this game was, I guess, a closer game. Some of the coaching staff believes he probably could have played, but they're just going to keep him out. And the word is he's just dizzy, and I'm sure will be dizzy for some time.
All right, that's good news that it's nothing serious. The handoff up the middle. Mike Olson, the fullback, senior fullback with the ball, picking up a couple of yards. And I think right now you're probably going to see both benches kind of clear out a little bit. You're probably going to see some juniors and sophomores playing because next year, just in case one of these two teams or both of these teams makes it back here, they'll have playoff experience.
Even if they only get in for one play, it's still very, very significant for them in terms of experience for next year.
It's third down, 7 yards to go. The ball on the 44-yard line. 1:13 now remaining in the game, and there's a fumble on the play, and Glendon Felton recovers, but it's anticlimactic now. With 1:08 left, it's academic.
There was a case of good defensive play there. It wasn't so much a mix-up on the offensive part. Glendon Felton has just played an exceptional game today, and my hat's off to Coach Scott Oliver for having a well-disciplined team, very well prepared for this game.
And there you see the bench, and they're going to have a happy ride home tonight. Take a look at this last play in which another fumble, another turnover. And they lose the ball there, and that will tie a Prep Bowl record for most fumbles lost in one game. And like we said, they're clearing the bench a little bit. Steve Iverson is now in at quarterback. With the ball was David Mortensen, a 5'9", 155-pound junior. He picked up a couple of yards in the play. 33 seconds remaining, 32. And they'll probably have time for one more play. 6 turnovers. There's pretty much the story of the game.
That's the story of the game. I was just sitting here thinking about that.
All right, now we take a look at Wayne Lepard, the winning quarterback for the Buffaloes of Glendon Felton. And I'll tell you what, that smile didn't have to be fabricated, that's for sure.
What we didn't see off camera was a shot he took from a teammate for being on camera.
That will be the last play of the game. We have a new champion in Class C. The Buffaloes of Glendon Felton have come back to the Dome, and this time they will go home with a gold trophy. A big football with the state of Minnesota on it. They are the champions. Zumbrota, a hard-fought effort. They will leave this game with an experience they'll never forget and a 13-1 record. Both teams fought their hearts out.
Look at the way Zumbrota is going out to move in and talk to their own players and move together as a team. They are really quite a unit together. In fact, both teams are.
They have nothing to be ashamed of. The final here, 38-14. Glendon Felton, the champion. And there you see what it's like to be on the other end of it. Ken Belanger had a tough game today. You know, we talked about Ken, the father, and Ken, the son. What about Mrs. Belanger tonight? She's got 2 broken hearts she's got to take care of tonight, plus 1 big headache.
Well, but you know, there's another day tomorrow, and they'll remember this game for a long time to come. But the same thing inside of each one of them that has pushed them on to excellence will continue to push them on in other fields that they choose. And as you know, Ken will continue to be a great coach for years to come.
38 points, a Prep Bowl record. And let's now go to the public address announcer for the awards presentation.
Your attention is directed to the area in front of the Zumbrota Rooters section, where Bob Fossum, the superintendent of Henderson, will be assisted by Dick O'Connell, school board member from Marshall. They will be assisted by Minnesota State High School League executive staff for the presentation of awards. Will the captains of the Zumbrota team please come forward to receive the silver medals and the second place trophy. Zumbrota Class C runner-up 1985. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your attention is directed to the area in front of the Glendon Felton Rooters section. Dwayne Swenson, the superintendent from Belgrade, will be assisted in the presentation of awards by Jody Brandvold, school board member from Brooklyn Center. They will be assisted by Minnesota State High School League executive staff for the presentation of awards. Will the Glendon Felton team come forward to receive the gold medals and the Class C state championship trophy? Glendon Felton Class C champions 1985.